I'm not reiterating this because I'm scared of being canceled or anything like that. Furthest from this, okay? It's just this entire scenario and the whole Dylan Mulvaney stuff, it perplexes me more than anything else, really, because I don't understand it at all. Like, outside of just the base interpretation that any publicity is good publicity, why is Dylan getting so many endorsement sponsorships? Like, okay, Tampax, that's just strange off rip. Like, what? How? What? Okay, again, that makes no sense at all whatsoever. Kate Spade, wasn't that the designer that hung themselves? Oh, okay. Interesting pick. You pick a trans person in order to endorse your product of the founder who, committed self. Oof. All right, a little on the nose. Kitchenaid. Again, the way that trans people always tend to present is the most hypersexualized version of the opposite sex that they're hoping to transition to. So, kind of hits the nail on the head when you have kitchen appliances being endorsed by a woman. Plaza Hotel. We'll take a look at that scary endorsement ad in a moment. Stella McCartney. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know what Stella McCartney is, but I know who Heather Mills McCartney is. And if you were going to be endorsing prosthetic legs coming out as differently abled, sure would be a fun little kink in this. And then Crest. I don't know, you got white teeth or something like that. I don't really know, man. Like, that's the only one that kind of makes sense. But you take a look at that list. That's a murderer's row. Like, you can't think of any other individual that gets such an array of high-profile endorsements. Like, none of those are small names. Like, I might just be out of the loop on the whole Stella McCartney stuff. That sounds familiar, but maybe I'm just thinking of the whole McCartney thing. And just, like, that's big business. And I'm just perplexed because whenever I see this Mulvaney thing pop up, it's always just met with fire and fury and scorn. Well, I don't care that much. I just mostly think that it's kind of unsettling to begin with. Why? I just think that it's the biggest op that's out there. Like, it makes no sense at all whatsoever. But Ollie London here is the one who's putting this out here on Front Street. And this is somebody who I've covered twice on the channel. It's kind of funny because he was somebody who spent a whole bunch of money in order to be transracial. And he got attacked for that. He started to identify with K-pop icons where it's like, okay, cool, TikTok really will warp your mind. But then recently came out and detransitioned from being trans. It's so strange, and it just highlights how much of a mental illness this is. Because are there trans people, legitimate trans people that are out there? Of course, Blair White, Buck Angel, is that the name of the chick into a dude that's actually passable but doesn't have all the new plumbing? And oh my god, what's the other one? As an old school O&A fan, you know who I'm at. Bailey J, that's the one that's out there. Okay, one that Jim Norton and oh my god, what's it? Joe DeRosa, the guy with no shoulders, the one that they would fight over constantly, and Bob Kelly as well. Dude, she's got a dick, dude. But see, I named 3 of them. The rest of them, it's just an attention ploy. That's what I see right here. So to just give Mulvaney all of these endorsement deals, I think it's just capitalizing off of mental illness, and it doesn't help your brand because, I don't know, is it over there? Yeah, Boycott Budweiser, that's going wild because, yeah, I'll put you guys through. I had to watch it, so everybody else does too. We don't have to listen to the sound because I think they got copyrighted music or something like that, but what does this have to do with Bud Light? Like, Bud Light's been constantly mocked and maligned for just being soy boy beer or soy boy swill for the longest time. So it kind of makes sense, but I don't get what this has to do with beer, and it's so fucking creepy, man. Like, it's normally, like, back in the cut, you would. I don't want to watch any more of this. That's about all I can take. Like, I just get. I get the heebie-jeebies. Like, most of the time, the only time that, God, it's just so fucking creepy, man. And then, knowing what I know and then looking over the stats recently as well, it just crystallizes. They know exactly who their target audience is here. So, Bud Light clearly clueless about who their target audience is. No, they know exactly who it is because 80% of the consumer base is female. And light beer... what do women like to drink? What do women like to drink if they do engage in alcohol? And Another upcoming video, I don't think I've recorded it yet, but it's definitely in the docket, is women are starting to outdrink men. So this is just a natural transition over there to a new market that they have yet to exploit. But no. What are the drinks of choice for females right now? White Claws, hard seltzers, hard lemonades, all of that stuff. Low calorie, high alcohol, just sugary nonsense. So, of course, it just makes it an acceptable drink, remarketing and rebranding. Oh, see, I can just be like one of the guys, and I can have one of my she, her, they, them rainbow-infused light beers, and see, I can just be drinking beer all guilt-free. I was going to say be like one of the guys, but let's be completely honest. Most women don't like most men to begin with, and them trying to fit into male circles has been out of vogue for a long time. They don't try to fit into those male circles. They just infiltrate them, take them over, and then push all the guys out and say, what happened? Where did all the good men go? But I originally seen this stuff, okay? This was the first image that I seen, and it's like, there's no way at all, okay? Like, this has to be photoshopped. I just seen this, and it's like, wow, okay. But then to see Ollie point out that, oh god, it's so creepy. All of the other sponsorships, like I seen the Kate Spade ad that came out where the Mulvaney just is dancing through a department store. Like, it's capitalizing off of mental illness, and that's just, it really drives it home. It drives it home with the, I don't know which ad this is. I've been seeing this freak show way too much recently, and it's just creepy. Like, this is Dawn talking for a second, okay? To me personally, whenever I see a Dylan Mulvaney video in passing, I don't search them out or anything like that. I look at it and I think that it probably is more unsettling. Not to say that I would prefer, but it's more unsettling than seeing those drag shows in front of kids. Like, it's just so creepy the way that he moves, and it's just clearly attention-seeking behavior that's not going to end well. It's really not, because you're giving somebody all of this attention right now until you get what? Because let's just assess the progressive stack for a moment. At the end of the day, if we're going to get down to biology, this is an XY individual, okay? We want to get down to the genetic level, an XY with Caucasian features. So the moment a trans person of color shows up and starts doing the exact same stuff, where do you think all of those sponsorships are going to go? Directly from Dylan off to LaQuisha, or whatever it's going to be into the future, okay? Whatever Maria or Ling Ling shows up, they're going to be getting all of the endorsements, and Dylan's going to be left swinging with the other 42%. You know it just as well as I do. This is capitalizing on mental issues and then just moving right on to the next one, because, yeah, you see it. Every once in a while, the mask slips, okay? The makeup's not as tight, and the cracks start to show. Why will nobody kiss me? Because they know the plumbing that they're dealing with, okay? And they don't swing like that. Dylan Mulvaney's man-to-girl transition. Man-to-girl. Yo! Are we trying to backdoor in pedophilia here? Because that's also, it's like, because that's next up on the docket. I don't know how they eventually work around to bestiality, but that'll be in there because, you know, Chink's going to have to do something after, you know, the election cycle runs its course. Like, that's it. There's only a couple of sacred idols that are out there right now. You got pedophilia, you got bestiality, and you got necrophilia. And they'll eventually work their way through it. Oh my god, but this is where we're at. Big companies using somebody who is clearly unwell to market their material, to market their products to the smallest segment of the population, or to just try to guilt liberal white women into buying their products. It's a bold strategy, but if everybody does it, I guess it'll eventually work. Okay. Why will nobody kiss me? Dylan Mulvaney's man-to-girl transition has won her TikTok fame, riches, and allies in the White House, but left her lonely and undateable. Yeah, this is, for as odd and weird and creepy as all of these videos are, at the end of it, it's just a big cry for help, and this is just, it's the complaining kid at the grocery store who really wants the cookies on the shelf, and then the bad parents are just like, oh my god, just get them to shut up for a second. But then in reality, you're just punishing and stunting their behavior going forward into the future, where you just ingrain a system. If somebody complains enough, they get what they want, and well, we've kind of got a society full of people like that. And knowing also all of the underlying conditions when it comes to somebody who's gone through, I'm pretty sure, all of the requisite surgeries in order to transition. And we know what ends up happening at a high degree of repeatability. Putting somebody on like that, giving them such an elevated platform, you're just putting them up at a higher perch to eventually fall right off of. It's not good. It's really not good. 12 months since launching her hit TikTok series, A Days of Girlhood, she earned hundreds of thousands of dollars, won allies in the White House, and is elbowing her way into the world of Hollywood celebrities. But how fleeting is that fame, honestly? Okay, still, the rigors of social media stardom are taking the toll. The 26-year-old has endured painful facial surgery. At whose request? At your own? All right. Been doxxed. Dude, you went to the fucking White House, okay? When a fan published her personal phone number online. So yeah, that was totally by accident. So let's not... already warping way too many words in here. We don't need to go ahead and add additional connotations to the word doxed. Now the trans poster girl. Yo, man, a decade ago, those three words together, a trans poster girl? All depends on where you put the inflection on reading that statement. Oh, a trans poster girl, or a trans poster girl, has revealed how her personal relationships have fallen apart in the struggles to get a date and is still to be kissed as a girl. Yeah, because it's interesting because, well, it's a feminized dude, so I guess the female mindset would kind of apply when it comes to this, but then you're also injecting a whole bunch of experimental hormones, and we've seen how that happened on the other side of the aisle, and what ended up resulting there was somebody who has a feminized nature who gets an ingestion of hormone, or an ingestion of testosterone at unregulated and unnatural levels. I'm talking about the Nashville situation. They act out irrationally, and then this time around, well, I have somebody with a whole influx of estrogen already having the female nature thoroughly ingrained. You can just take a look at this through... I don't know how applicable this is, but when it comes to intersexual dynamics, which... I'm not just talking about Dylan's own situation in and of that self, but if we just took it as a situation that this is actually a biological woman, which obviously it's not. You think about a woman with that much clout being on TikTok at that level, at the White House, hundreds of thousands of dollars. The hypergamous itch on that one is all the way through the roof. You are at a level where very few celebrities can even climb to. Like, who's been to the White House, okay, as a celebrity? Like Cardi B, millions of people on TikTok, hundreds of thousands of dollars, Hollywood celebrities, so many different endorsement deals. Like, okay, yeah, Cardi B has a McDonald's sponsorship. Who else has a Bud Light sponsorship? Like, bro, it's to a point where you've priced yourself out of the dating market from so many people that are out there. I'm sure you probably have some very strange people in your DMs, definitely trying to scratch that itch for you, but you just see them and you wouldn't accept them because for a multitude of reasons and other barriers as well, you've priced yourself out of the market. And this is another reason why, my personal preferences when it comes to this stuff, dealing with women that have big social media followings, and this obviously isn't analogous to this situation, but, like big fitness influencers, or even just, if we're going to be completely honest, because they do the exact same stuff, just as, oh my god, just look at how stunning and brave and smart she is. Just don't mind the fact that she's 35 years old, and any time that she'd get pregnant, it would be high risk. Those tradcon girls that are on Twitter, where all of a sudden they just start trad wife posting. Oh yeah, very funny, very, very organic turn of face you have on that one. Oh yes, women should be in the kitchen. Very good, Annabelle, or whatever your fucking name is. Oh my god, that whole trad wife stuff is just such a fucking op, as well as like, oh wow, yeah, you're a traditional wife. Tell me more from your TikTok account. Just stop it. But yo, they get big followings like that, but big following for women come with big heads, big inflated egos, and they put themselves out into the world like that, and we know, time and time again, women only date across and upwards, okay? Men, in the sexual market value, okay? Across and upwards. Men will date across, down, up, around. It really doesn't much matter at the end of the day. Hot is hot, attractive is attractive, and you can basically build a bitch if you have good frame. But for women, you're always looking up. And if that person is on your same level, they better be going up. They better have ambition. They better have potential. Otherwise, they are invisible. That's what ends up happening when a girl has so much clout, because you're dealing with a small pool of people that are even accessible to you. And then given the fact that there's the whole you used to be a dude situation on top of that, that small pool of candidates that you have, 10.8 million followers. 10.8 million followers. You just went from a pool of candidates that you can fit inside of your hand to one that you can fit inside of a thimble. Because outside of a drunken rendezvous, looking at Hugh Grant and Eddie Murphy from back in the day, ain't nobody taking you seriously. And that's just the sad fact about this. Mulvaney's online transition series, which has 10.8 million followers, was always odd. Yeah, in recent imitation of a fictional 6-year-old girl called Eloise. Yeah, that's the one there is like, can somebody stop this? This is creepy. Who lives in a high-end hotel and masquerade as a child's doll, has taken that strangeness to a new level. Yeah, but then after seeing that, Bud Light was like, that's the new poster kid. All right then. Let dolls be dolls, please, Mulvaney said in a recent clip. This is mental illness. Like, back in the day, whenever you seen somebody act out even a fraction of this behavior, it was like, you should probably put that under wraps for a second. Okay, somebody should take Uncle down to the local insane asylum and get him checked out for a moment. But no, we'll just have it on TikTok for the world to assess. This is dangerous. Mulvaney said in a recent clip, sporting a bright patterned dress, braided hair, bows, and colored circles on her cheeks. Her cheeks. All right. One's on her face, though. Jeez, we're not getting that depraved. Before spinning for the camera, let dolls be dolls, please. I'll just show you a still frame of that. If you're eating anything, this is not for the weak of heart. There's what's going on TikTok. I'm not really for the government intervention of banning platforms, but I think we can make an exception for situations like this. This is just fucking creepy, dude. And yeah, you got merch line, okay? Days of Girlhood, doing some, haram version of Audrey Hepburn. But everything is so over the top female. It's just so funny because from the same group where you're just going to have, men and women are exactly the same. It's just blank slate equalism, that everything is just a social construct. But the moment that a trans person switches teams, they just become the hyper version of whatever they become. It's just such a fucking disconnect. It's like, okay, you guys just can't reconcile with that fact, so you don't even bother addressing it. So just ridiculous. Sequence makes little sense. No, it does. It makes a lot if you start to understand that this is just mental illness, okay? It's just another chance for Mulvaney to dress up and repeat the mantra of transgenderism, that people can identify as anything they want, including dolls, and those who disagree are unpalatable haters. Of course, man, anybody who disagrees with you, clearly a hater. They just don't want to see you fall down the path that so many other people have before. They don't want you to course correct or anything like that. They're just simply hists and obes. Of course, from a business perspective, however, the series made total sense. Mulvaney was left jobless. Oh, see, exactly. Easy clout chase. When the Coof pandemic hit and the Broadway musical she starred in, The Book of Mormon, was shuttered. Since then, Days of Girlhood has been her moneymaker. Of course, each time Mulvaney endorses a cosmetic, credit cards, oh, right, our fashion brand, she earns some $75,000, and perhaps double when posted on Instagram as well. Yup, said Asil Diary, a social media expert and founder of AMD Consulting Group. That adds up to about $1 million a year for Mulvaney, who is represented by Los Angeles-based CAA. According to estimates provided by the industry insider, CAA did not answer our emails, but yeah, you can pretty much figure it out. You can just draw analogies to whoever has a comparable Instagram account, how much a shout out for that would cost, a story for that, a dedicated video would cost. It's easy money and easy attention. You see this funnel happen all the time. University of Pittsburgh reportedly paid $26,250 for Mulvaney's speaking appearance this month. Yo, according to the campus research paper. She also rakes in cash by selling pink sweaters for $54 each. Oh, that's about the same price that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez makes for the Tax the Rich shirts. Hilarious. Diary praised Mulvaney for keeping fans extremely engaged with her journey and its evolution. Yeah, that's one thing that I'll actually give that credit for, is consistency, okay? Like, there's a lot of people who would set out and do a year-long series and miss a couple of steps along the way, but no, they're every single day, consistency and work ethic. But that's about where the praise is going to end. Hard work has paid off. Mulvaney has bought a home in Los Angeles, shot videos from luxury resorts in French Polynesia, and spent a week at $800 per night Plaza Hotel in New York City. Yeah, and shot that just really creepy video that we'll see a still from, but it's insane when you're documenting so much of your life. Is that person supposed to be famous? I have no idea. Okay, Laverne Cox. Okay, a trans woman. See, this is why you just gotta say, you know, they, them, that, whatever, man, because in today's day and age, things are so fucking screwy. Okay. Now I know why tradcons just want a time machine and go back to the 50s where you take a look at that and it's like, okay, cool. You don't have to take a look at the, you know, the neck brace and then just think, oh my God, is that like an actual accessory or is that just to hide the Adam's apple? Like, oh my God, bro. But yeah, I don't know if you guys seen that video, and I'm not going to play it because that just creeps me out way too much, and I still have a bunch of stuff to do, and I don't need to get nauseous for the other videos that I need to cut. So yeah, dressing up like that, jumping through and hopping on a bed while claiming that you're in character on top of being in character. Does anybody else just note the fact that this is obviously a mental disorder? But no. The left... The side that would hold this up as being a shining example of how to be a quality, prosperous member of the alphabet community also won't reconcile with the fact that that mental health conversation that you want to have would include scenarios such as this, because what happens, man, like, just revisit the scenario that I laid out to begin with. Whenever a black, brown, Chinese, Native American person shows up, does the exact same stuff, is just as charismatic, what's going to happen after that? What is going to happen? But then, oh yeah, I'm sure they probably already have the articles written up. Oh, who could have possibly seen that happen? Oh, I don't know. Anybody looking at the numbers and it's like, wow, 42% is awfully high. Maybe we should have a conversation about this stuff. But the other side doesn't want to engage in the conversation. So all you can do at this point in time is just laugh, scratch your head, and wonder, how does the list of sponsorships run that deep? Makes no sense at all whatsoever. But I also want to shout out the person that made the funny joke. Oh, it's not there. Oh, I wanted to give them credit appropriately. But as they said for the Tampax ad, wow, what do they make? Butt tampons now? That shit was funny. Had me rolling. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.